invited to pull up a chair on Lisa Harper's Back Porch, where faith meets real life. Welcome to Back Porch Theology. Each episode helps you dive deeper into God's Word and discover that the gospel isn't just good news for eternity. It's great news for everyday life, because God is for you, and He's always been restoring our value and drawing us closer to Him. With honest conversations, a few laughs, and guests ranging from close friends to brilliant theologians, Back Porch Theology is thoughtful, meaningful, and never stuffy. So grab some coffee or sweet tea and join Lisa Harper on Back Porch Theology. Subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and God2, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Siblings are heroes after saving their bus driver and keeping the other kids calm. Written by Michaela Gordoni, read by Julie Provost. Two Ohio siblings are heroes after they noticed their school bus driver had trouble breathing. When 8-year-old Katrina noticed something was wrong, she pulled the parking brake while her big brother Charlie handled comms on the two-way radio. Thanks to their quick actions, the bus driver is okay. I ran up there and said, "What is wrong?" and she pointed at her throat, and then I ran back there and got the older kids, Katrina said. She had her radio in the air, and so that's when I realized something was going on, Charlie recalled. Katrina knew they were going down a hill, so she pulled the parking brake. When I realized that something was going on, I went up there and grabbed the radio and then called the school because I knew that was the quickest way to get help, Charlie said. Charlie grabbed the radio, told the receiver their bus number, and alerted them that the driver wasn't breathing. He says he knows how to call because he watched a few Dukes of Hazzard movies. He'd call him and do what needs to be done at the time, Charlie said. An 8th grader, Callie, also helped by calling 911 and instructing students to stay in the back of the bus. Charlie was a little shaky, but he tried to keep all of the children calm. My brother, in the inside, when something's going wrong, he's scared, but on the outside, he's like calm and concentrated, Katrina said, nudging her brother so that he'd smile. The siblings' mom felt an overwhelming feeling of joy when she learned what her kids did. I was joyful that my kids were knowledgeable enough and knew enough to know what to do, to actually help somebody, legitimately save somebody's life, their mom said. Katrina said her bus driver is really cool, and she's proud and happy with myself and happy that we got the driver all better now. I'm glad that she's home now and she's safe, Charlie said. The actions of these students were truly outstanding. Their school superintendent said they remained calm, communicated clearly, and helped one another in a situation that could have been much worse. Their families should be increasingly proud. Thank God that Katrina and the kids were aware of their surroundings and that the driver is okay.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
Every day I speak with people who are worried and are feeling a lot of pressure because of credit card debt. That's why I'm very proud of what we do at Trinity. We just help. We give people the support they need, along with a real plan to become debt-free. Credit card bills are consolidated into a single monthly payment that is much less than what they were paying before. Most of our members end up saving thousands and even may improve their credit scores by as much as 200 points. I know from the bottom of my heart that I'm making a difference in the lives of the people we help. It just makes me really happy.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-793-8548.
My name is Julie, and I'm a Trinity counselor. Call me and become debt-free for keeps.
1-800-793-8548.
Do you feel like God has placed a call in your heart to write, but you keep getting discouraged? Maybe you've dreamed of writing a book, but you're not sure where to start, or if your words even matter. This month on the Salvation Army's weekly podcast, Words of Life, we're sitting down with Christian authors and writers of all kinds to talk about why the written word still matters and how God continues to use it powerfully in His kingdom today.
So the act of putting pen to paper and just putting into words what's going on inside my head was my way to start processing the world around me. I found very naturally that lent itself to conversation with God.
I think it's important that we recognize something really beautiful and tangible about writing. There's a power in it that is created by God, who is the Word.
Listen to Words of Life on your favorite podcast store or visit wordsoflifepodcast.org.
Finding love again at 78. This loving couple met at church and married 4 months later. Written by Heather Riggleman, read by Julie Provost. Finding love again at 78. This loving couple met at church and married 4 months later. When we imagine ourselves later in life, we assume the love of our lives will be by our side. But sometimes that's not the case. Cancer, heart attacks, and so many other things leave us spouseless. Yet, we never know what God has in store for us. I read the sweetest story earlier today, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. It's the kind of story you want to tell someone you love, the kind that makes you pause and smile when you're folding laundry or waiting in the car line at school. It's about love found late, hope restored quietly, and God weaving something beautiful when no one was expecting it. It's about a man and a woman who met at church at 78, married just 4 months later. Who says love has an expiration date? Their names are John and Mary, and their story feels like a gentle reminder from God that He's never finished writing love stories. Not at 28, not at 48, and not even at 78. John has been widowed for several years. Mary has walked through her own season of loss and quiet loneliness. They both came to church faithfully, not looking for romance, not chasing a new beginning, just showing up with open hearts and a willingness to trust God with whatever was next. They noticed each other slowly, a conversation here, a shared laugh there, a prayer request, a cup of coffee after service. It doesn't sound like what you read in a romance novel. There was nothing flashy, wild, or rushed, just two hearts recognizing something familiar and kind in the other. Mary shared later that she wasn't looking for love. She was simply looking to be faithful with the life God had given her. And John said something similar, that he never imagined God still had a gift waiting for him at this stage of life. And yet, here it was. 4 months later, they stood before the church family and promised their remaining years to one another. Not because they were afraid to be alone, but because they felt God nudging them together. There's something deeply comforting about that, isn't there? That God doesn't stop orchestrating, He doesn't stop arranging, that He doesn't stop caring about companionship, joy, tenderness, and love, even when the world quietly assumes those chapters are finished. Their story reminds us that God is not bound by timelines we invent. He isn't limited by age, by loss, by what didn't happen before, or how late we think it is. He is the God who brings beauty after ashes, connection after loneliness, and joy after long stretches of quiet. So if you're reading this and thinking, it feels too late for me, or that chapter has already passed, or God must be finished with that part of my story, please let John and Mary gently disagree with you. Love is not only for the young, hope is not only for the beginning. New things are not reserved for certain decades of life. God is still writing, still arranging, still surprising. And sometimes, beautifully, unexpectedly, He writes a love story at 78 that feels just as tender and sacred as the first one ever written. Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.
If you're an HVAC technician and a call comes in, Grainger knows that you need a partner that helps you find the right product, fast and hassle-free. And you know that when the first problem of the day is a clanking blower motor, there's no need to break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product details, you're confident you'll soon have everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.